Hello everyone and welcome to St. Andrew's Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon, Delhi NCR. St. Andrew's Institute of Technology and Management is the best college in the country. We offer a variety of courses from BTech, BBA, BCA and we are also upcoming with MBA, Architecture and Law. This is the best college in the country in terms of education, in terms of the infrastructures, that is the hostels that are being provided are very good, and the safety also. If I put various parameters, so it is the best choice that you can actually make for yourself. And it provides 100% job assistance, and if you look at the training part, we have a lot of emphasis on the students training and placement cells. So let's start the video. So the subject we shall be looking here is System Analysis and Design, and this is for BBA 6th semester. The code is BBA and 602, and this is in accordance with the MDU University Rohtak syllabus, right? So these following topics I shall look for, like structure chart, database definitions, and equipment specification and selection. I, Shalini from the CSE department, shall take you further in this journey. Okay, now structure charts. See, what are structure charts? Structure charts mean they have some structures, and what kind of a structure? That is hierarchical structure of modules. So it breaks down the entire system into lowest functional modules and describe functions and sub-functions of each module of a system to a greater detail. So you're going kind of dividing it. Then you have structure chart partitions the system into black boxes. That is, functionality of the system is known to the user, but inner details are unknown. So the functionality is known, but the inner details are unknown. Inputs are given to the black boxes and appropriate outputs are generated. That is, you give the input and you see what kind of an outputs are generated. Modules at top level are called low level, and the components are read from top to bottom and left to right. Like, this is how you read it, a structure chart. You're reading it from top to bottom, like top down and left to right. So when a module calls another, it views the called module as black box, that is passing required parameters and receiving results, right? That is, you do not actually know what is inside the system. Please remember this. Okay, now what are the symbols that are used in the construction of structure charts? First is modules, that is, it represents the process or task of the system. And there are three modules, that is the control module, sub-module and a library module. So a control module will have branches, that's from one and more than one, like sub-modules. So, and sub-module, which is a part that is a child of another module, that is why it is called sub-module. And library are reusable and invocable from any module. So various modules which actually use the codes from the library by invoking them and kind of calling them. Okay, then there is this conditional calls. So what are these conditional calls? These represent that control module can select any of the sub-modules. That is, if suppose I have a control module and based on the yes I'll be going left and based on no I'll be going right. So that's my condition call. Then I have loop. So it represents a repetitive execution of a module by the sub-module. So there are various sub-modules and they're repeatedly calling the control module. So the curved arrow represents loop in the module. So all the sub-modules covered by loop repeat execution of module. So whatever are in there, they're asking to loop, so it will call back the main module, right? Then I have data flow. So what is data flow? It will represent the flow of data between the modules, like how the data is flowing. See, module 1 and module 2, how it is going. So this is a directed arrow, like from this way, from the left side is up, going from 2 to 1, from right side is from 1 to 2. So this is representing the data flow from module 1 to 2 or 2 to flow. Okay, then we have control flow. So this represents the flow of control between the modules, like how it is control is flowing. Data flow is how the data is flowing. Control is various decisions. So you have this. So this is represented by directed arrow with a filled circle at the end. And the data is the empty circle at the end. Just so the empty circle means data and the filled circle means control. Remember this. Okay, physical storage. So this is wherein all the information is stored. That's amount to the physical storage. So this is an email server that you can check. See, there are enter login details and then the view mailbox, and the data is going from the view mailbox that is view messages and compose messages. From compose messages going to send messages, and once you enter the login details, it is going to the verify login details, and from that it is loading your amount. And in a similar way, the specified login details, the data is going to the components in the database, and from there the details are okay, so the control is going. If it is okay, then you have verified it, right? So this is how you draw structure charts. Okay, next we have a database definition. So what is the definition of database? So a database is a collection of information that is organized so that it can be easily accessed. So you know how easily it can be accessed, managed and updated, right? So computer databases typically contain aggregations of data records or files containing information about sales transaction or interactions with specific customers, right? So how do you do it? It's basically a collection of information which are stored and they can be accessed, managed and updated, right? Okay, these are classified according to content type, that is bibliographic, full text, numeric and images. In computing databases, these are sometimes classified according to their organizational approach. There are many different kinds of databases, ranging from the most prevalent approach to the relational database to the distributed approach. Then you have cloud databases, you have graph databases, and you have NoSQL databases, right? So these are all you can these terms continuously you find it into, basically, like this is a cloud, this is a relational database, this is a NoSQL database. So there are n number of bases of them. So next we have equipment specification and selection. Okay, now we did the software requirements. So the software requirements are description of features and functionalities of the target system. So these are what they describe, the features and functionality of the target system, and the requirements convey the expectations of the users from the software product, right? So you are conveying the expectations from the software product. The requirement can be obvious or hidden, known or unknown, expected or unexpected from the client's point of view. Then you have requirement engineering. Okay, what is it? The process to gather the software requirement from the client, analyze and document them, right? So you gather it, you analyze and do document. So that is requirement engineering. So the goal of requirement engineering is to develop and maintain a sophisticated descriptive document that is known as system requirement specification, so that the user cannot say to you that this is something that I have, like he cannot ask something extra after the product is developed, and you cannot deny him like any functionality that he asked for. So this is basically signed between the two parties. Okay, and then the fourth step, so you will be done a feasibility study. Feasibility study is like whether this is feasible or it is not. Then you do the requirement gathering, you ask him, you probe him, you do a questionnaire, you do surveys and etc. Then you prepare the software requirement specification, and then you have software requirement validation, when you validated that okay, you have prepared it and okay, this is okay, like these are all valid specifications. So there are various questions that come into like in the examination are that, so write a short note on structure charts and what is a database. It can ask you in a definition, because that's what into your syllabus also, database definition, that's it. Then you have a short note on equipment specification and selection, right? So I tried to keep it very very simple with one nice diagram, so I hope you liked it. Thank you so much.